Hey guys, just jumping on today to talk about acting now and not waiting for the right time or putting things off for another day. Now, working in the day job that I do, which for those of you who don't know is the funeral industry, I'm painfully aware that tomorrow is never promised. Now, we're all guilty of putting things off until tomorrow, but when you really think about it, what use is that to yourself or anybody? There are days that happen that will change your life forever, in an instant, never to be the same again. And you don't know it's coming, you haven't prepared for it, it just happens to you. And so many people want to change something in their life, but they just put it off because there's always tomorrow. Maybe because of fear, maybe because of concern for what others might think, or maybe because just the self-doubt, or any other number of reasons. We've got hundreds. But letting those things hold you back is really dangerous because it's easy to take your plans for life for granted and you think you've got plenty of time to make them happen, but the reality is that you just don't know when something suddenly will happen that will rob you of that opportunity, either to have the life that you want or even with the people that you want. Now, on the way to work today, I listened to a TED talk, like I quite often do, and it was about this subject, and I heard the most heartbreaking but uplifting story, and it was about a seminar that was taking place in Hawaii on the weekend of 9/11. And basically what had happened is they'd had this first day of this motivational seminar, they'd gone to bed, and at 2 o'clock in the morning the Twin Towers were attacked. So when all of these people, and there were 2,000 delegates, when they woke up the next morning to that news, everybody was devastated. Now, there were 600 people from New York, so it was really, really close to home for a lot of those people. Anyway, they did the morning of the second day of the seminar, and they decided instead of what they were supposed to be there for, they just shared each other's experiences and how they felt about this news, right? And they asked for people to stand up and share parts of their life and stuff. And this woman stood up and said that she'd been motivated by yesterday's speaker, who was a woman who was born 50 years ago, and they thought that she was just born completely deaf. Her parents no longer wanted her, they gave her up for adoption, and she lived her whole life in children's homes where she was systematically abused, had a horrible, horrible start to life. She finally broke free of that, and at 20 she found out she'd got breast cancer. So she went through all of that chemo and everything like that, came out the other side of it, booked this massive holiday somewhere really beautiful to celebrate, lying on a beach, and there was someone drowning on the beach. The lifeguards came across with their 4x4 dune buggy and ran over her head. Oh my God, this gets worse. So she had all this reconstruction surgery. So when she came around from this surgery, she had this epiphany, and she came to the realization that she felt like her life, all her life, she'd been looking in this mirror and presenting to the mirror anger, resentment, frustration, and she completely let her story so far define her as this kind of person who bad things happen to. So she changed her mindset and thought process at that moment and decided she would look in her life mirror and be thankful and grateful for all the things that she did have, which at that point, I'm pretty sure you'll agree, would be quite hard to do after what had happened to her. Anyway, she started to live her life with these changes, and her life turned around. She met someone, she had an operation for her ears, and she got partial hearing back. She entered a competition locally for a local stand-up comedian. She won it. From there, she went on to do local stuff, then national stuff, then got her own TV show in America. So her life completely changed around. Anyway, this person who stood up in the seminar to recant yesterday's story had said that it had completely changed her life, because yesterday when she heard that motivational talk, she explained that 18 months ago she had lost her fiance in a road crash, and basically had been very closed down to everything for all that time. In that time, she did, however, meet someone again, but wanted to take it really, really slowly. So she got really excited after that. He wanted to take it further. She ran back to her hotel room that night and left a message on his answer machine, because he didn't wake up, to say that she'd had this epiphany, she'd changed her mind, she loved him, she knew she loved him, she didn't want to hold back anymore, and so she left this voicemail saying that she would marry him. Anyway, the next thing that happened was that she went to bed, she woke up, and in the morning she'd got a message from him on her phone, because she was asleep and she didn't get it until she woke up, from her partner, who was on the 101 first floor in the World Trade Center, saying that the towers had been hit. He didn't think he was going to make it out, but having heard her recorded message on his voicemail, it had made his last few moments the happiest of his life, which in itself is very, very sad, as you can appreciate. However, she then had this epiphany that woke up and said to herself, I will never, ever put off anything until tomorrow. I'm going to live my life to the full. I'm never going to miss another opportunity, ever. And that kind of liberated her a bit. And obviously she was sad because her partner had died and she loved him and she missed him, but she changed in that moment. Now, obviously, we don't need a moment like that. We don't need a moment like that to, kind of wake up and live our life differently. But that's just how fragile life is. And it just got me thinking that, it's the little things that we can change in our life that can make that difference. So the upshot of this is, don't wait for a wake-up call. They don't always have the happy ending. And if there's something that you want to change in your life, don't let obstacles hold you back. Even if you don't know how, commit to finding a way, because if you keep on waiting, you're gambling that you'll have the time and the opportunity to make it all happen at some time in the future. And that's a hell of a gamble to take, with your one and only life. And even if you never have a nasty wake-up call, fingers crossed, keep this in mind. 20 years from now, you'll be more disappointed by the things that you didn't do than the ones you did. So throw off the bowline, sail away from the safe harbour, catch the trade winds in your sail and explore, dream and discover, says Mark Twain. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.